The title of today's class is The Best Way to Deal with Death, Part 2. The Best Way to Deal with Death, Part 2. And the subtitle is The Best Way to Live. The best way to live. Now, let's look at the unifying factor. When you, God willing, you're going to live long, healthy, productive, meaningful lives. That's my wish for each and every one of you. Not only just for you, but each of your loved ones. That's my wish for you. At the end, when the end comes, there's one thing you don't want to have about your own death, and you don't want to have about the death of a loved one before they leave. So the unifying factor is this one thing you don't want to have with about your own life, and something else you don't want to have about the death of a loved one. You want your loved ones to have long, healthy, meaningful lives, but at the end, there's something you don't want to have there. And what is it you don't want to have about those two situations? You don't want to have any regret. You don't want any regret. So the best way to live, so here you see the best way to die, the best way to deal with death is you want to make sure you live your life in such a way that there are no regrets. You want to live your life in such a way that there are no regrets when you're leaving this earth, and no regrets about when your loved ones are leaving this earth. You want to know that your loved ones know that you love them. And you want to live your life in such a way that you don't have any regrets about what you didn't do. I didn't pursue my dream. I didn't share my love. I didn't pursue the deepest passion in my life, my destiny. You want to live your life. A guiding principle is you don't want to live your life creating the possibility of regret at the end. So for sure, you can't have a regret by showing love. You're going to say, gee, I showed too much love. You're not going to regret that. So you want to live a full life of fully showing that love, because that's something you won't regret. On the other hand, if you haven't shown that love at the end of your life or the life of a loved one, if you haven't shown that love, you're going to have regret. You say, gee, I never told my father, I never told my mother, I never told my brother, whomever. You don't want to have that where you have a regret where you didn't share your love. That's number one. And many people, that's happened. They didn't get to tell somebody they love them. You love him or you love her, and they're gone, and it's too late. It's done. Now, a related issue is, you let's say there's somebody, you had an argument with somebody, and then they die, and you never got to. The last words were maybe something negative. Say, I don't like you, I'm mad at you, you're this, you're that. So your last words were something negative. The lack of love. It was a lack of something loving. And this happens all the time. This is common. So you want to be sure when you part from anybody, you don't know whether you're going to see that person again. You really don't. I mean, God willing, you will for many, many, many years to come. But part of the message is you definitely don't want to take life for granted. I know every one of you know people who have passed on. And the older you get, people start leaving left and right. And a lot of times it's somebody you never thought was going to go. And all of a sudden you hear they're dead, or what happened to so-and-so? Well, didn't you hear they died, or hit by a car, or a person just died of cancer, or whatever. So people just start going. And if you follow obituaries and you say, well, gee, I know this person, I know, and more people are going. So you want to live your life so there's no regret.